Ramirez has the story from Van Nuys.
4 LAPD officers take to the skies from Van Nuys Airport.
We took the 4 gentlemen up with us earlier for a flight out to the north. They all loved it. None of them got sick, so they're all heroes in our mind.
It's a thank you for the heroic rescue of pilot Mark Jenkins, who was involved in a crash earlier this year.
I knew that I had to take evasive action and land somewhere that didn't kill people.
The small single-engine Cessna Jenkins was piloting landed on train tracks near Pacoima's Whiteman Airport back in January.
I didn't really have time to think about anything other than the safety of Mark, of the pilot. I'm just trying to get him out. Now, getting able to look back on it, we were pretty much, in a lot of danger as well, and it's something to reflect on. Body
camera footage shows the pilot being pulled from the plane just seconds before it was struck by an oncoming train.
It was like the stars were aligned that day. I wasn't even supposed to be there. I was on vacation that day. I came into work some overtime. I was coming back from another call, and I don't usually take that way back to the station.
Just thinking back on that moment, just hearing the train and feeling the vibrations through the floor and just hearing the crumpling metal, and I was just like, wow, that was close. That was really close.
The world-famous Condor Squadron hosted the officers where they were honored after their special flight around the valley. These planes sitting here at Van Nuys Airport were actually used to train pilots during World War II and into the 70s.
Oh, it was amazing. And my first time being up there and being in a World War II fighter jet, so yeah, it was a little scary at first. I was like, I like to be close to the ground, but it was fun.
In Van Nuys, Mario Ramirez, Fox 11 News.
Skyfox above a fire in South LA. A split-level duplex under construction caught fire this afternoon. It took the 90 firefighters nearly an hour to douse the fire. Heavy winds made it a bit rough, especially in trying to keep the flames from spreading to nearby buildings. Good news here, no one was hurt. COVID cases are on a slow rise in California, but the state says it has no plans to reinstate pandemic restrictions. LA and Orange counties are seeing their cases tick up, but hospitalizations are not yet spiking. The positivity rate for LA is still low overall, but has roughly tripled in 2 weeks. The OC positivity rate also inching up to just over 2.3%. People fed up with mandatory masking are suing the city of Philadelphia. Businesses and residents there say the rule illegally oversteps state and federal guidelines. Philadelphia recently became the first big city to return to mask rules indoors. The action comes after a 50% increase in COVID cases in fewer than 2 weeks. City officials say they have the authority to adjust local rules to ease the spread of COVID. It wasn't the slap, it was the anger that shocked him most. Former late-night host Jay Leno weighs in on Will Smith's Oscar behavior. Leno calls Smith a good guy, but adds the rage and profanity he displayed after striking Chris Rock disturbed him the most. Leno also calls the Academy's investigation into the slap ridiculous because everyone saw what happened. The Academy has banned Will Smith from the Oscars for 10 years. What a fabulous night to be a music fan. We want to go live to India, where night 2 of the Coachella Festival is underway. That there, Australian DJ Flume entertaining the crowd. Headliner Billie Eilish performs later on. This is the first time the festival has been held in 2 years, and you know why. Well, it may be Easter tomorrow, but in Mammoth, the scene looked more like a white Christmas. This was earlier today. Folks at the resort experiencing their biggest since December, with high winds to go along with it. MammothMountain.com reports 6 to 8 inches of new snow and counting. Oh, that is brilliant. That is brilliant looking. Okay, meteorologist Mary Yoon, you want to weigh in on that one, or should we just talk about our own local weather? Because we do have Easter egg hunts that we have to worry about tomorrow.
Yeah, the Mammoth snow was quite a late season snowmaker, but there is at least a chance that area could receive a few more inches with a storm on the way. And that storm that I just mentioned is actually potentially going to bring rain to us. And I'll get to those details in just a moment. But, happy Saturday. It was a lovely day, a little cool along the coast. We saw some winds, some breezes kick up earlier this afternoon, and we had a cold front that brought a trace of precipitation towards Long Beach. Other than that, it was a dry day here in Southern California. Taking a look at our national satellite radar, mostly clear conditions, although we're starting to see some low clouds develop off the South OC coastline, and that's what we'll continue to see some cloud development late tonight. Right now, we're looking at largely 50s, a little cool for this Saturday evening, but here's what it looks like for, of course, Sunday for those of you perhaps celebrating Easter. And this is what it's going to look like. Coastal cities, 60s. Downtown Los Angeles, upper 60s to low 70s. So nice and mild, a little warmer tomorrow than it was today. And the valleys in the Inland Empire looking at upper 70s to low 80s for the second half of the weekend. All right, coming up, we are still tracking the potential rain for next week. So tomorrow's looking pretty good, but I'll detail that just in just a bit. Susan, send it back over to you for more news.
Very good, Mary. Thank you. You know, the cost of a special Easter dinner isn't what it used to be. Blame it on inflation. Fox 11's Coco McAvoy gives us the painful numbers.
With Passover and Easter this weekend, many families are planning to spend quality time.
Yeah, we're actually having like a big Easter brunch at the house.
Before the weekend comes, people are picking up a few items for their holiday meals.
Wine for Passover, looking forward to spending some time with the family. It's a special time for us with everything that's going on.
But you may notice grocery store prices are rising.
Very high. Yeah, very high. Like surprisingly high.
And it's difficult to avoid. Over the past year, meat prices are up between 12 and 13%. Milk, poultry, and fish is up almost 14%. And experts say finding affordable eggs will be a real challenge this holiday because of both the bird flu and inflation, making shopping very tricky.
We tried out a lot of different stores. We went to Ralph's, Whole Foods, and Erewhon. Yeah.
And across the board, it's still expensive.
Yeah.
Some people like Michael are shopping at mom and pop stores like Village Market in North Hollywood for better deals.
You go to the supermarkets and you see inflation going up at an incredible, and here they're pretty consistent with kind of not raising it as much as others, so that's why I want to show them some more business.
Inflation isn't expected to ease anytime soon either. Financial advisor Winnie Sun explains why.
Because of supply chain issues, of course, there's the war, and there's so many other issues.
Sun offers a few tips, including sticking to a budget and shopping online or using apps for grocery items.
You do all that in the comfort of your own home. You can, cross-reference your refrigerator so you're not buying things you already have. It's a great way to save money and stretch your wallet, especially during inflation.
Some experts say we could continue to see inflation in 2023. I'm Coco McAvoy, Fox 11 News.
The New York Police Department will split a $50,000 reward among 5 people who helped them arrest the man accused in a subway shooting. The police department says the 5 people gave information that contributed directly to the arrest of Frank James. And yesterday, the mayor honored transit workers who helped passengers in the moments just after the shooting. The workers received special proclamations for their work in getting riders to safety.
This week, New York City showed the entire globe what our city is and has always been about. Courage, heroism, quick thinking, and decisive action.
In all, 10 people were shot and more than a dozen others were hurt in the shooting. Police say 62-year-old Frank James threw a smoke grenade inside a subway car and then opened fire. James was later arrested in the city's East Village neighborhood. He's currently charged with a federal terrorism offense. Developing news for you. Police in Columbia, South Carolina have arrested a 22-year-old man in connection with a shooting at a mall. 14 people were hurt. Police say this was not a random shooting. Fox News correspondent Nate Foy has more on what happened.
It happened at 2:03 Saturday afternoon. It was reported by a witness at the Columbiana Center Mall. 3 people are detained so far. Police say they were all seen with guns inside the mall. At least one of them is accused of firing a gun near the Gap store inside. Here's the Columbia police chief talking about a possible motive.
We don't believe this was random. I think that's very important in situations like this. We believe that the individuals that were armed knew each other. And there was some type of conflict that occurred that resulted in gunfire. This was not a situation where we had some random person show up at a mall to, discharge a firearm and just, injure people.
Here's one man who was with his daughter when shots were fired.
It was a pretty scary event. It was about 10 shots or so that rang out. Before they were done, I was grabbed her and we were running out the door. When I tell you, people were coming out of every single exit as fast as possible. It was a pretty serious situation.
Of the 14 people hurt, 9 were shot. The other 5 were hurt trying to flee for safety. Only one person is still being treated for his injuries. And we haven't heard yet what the motive was behind the shooting. And that was Nat Foy reporting. New details tonight about that mass shooting in Sacramento. Court documents say it was triggered by a gang dispute and that 3 of the dead were affiliated with gangs. 6 people in all were killed, a dozen others hurt during the shootout earlier this month. The injured included 2 other suspects, brothers Smiley and Dondre Martin. A third suspect, Matula Payton, remains at large. The Fox 11 News at 10, just getting started for you. Coming up, federal regulators now investigating after the popular cereal meant dozens of complaints that made people sick. Plus, a driver tries running down a woman in a stunning act of road rage, why he did it, and the consequences he's facing. And next, the parents searched everywhere. Now, nearly 3 years later, a California teen with autism is found. Coming up, see the moment his parents were told the news.
You got your boyfriend this create your own edible box because he's the most indecisive person on the planet. But he did decide to date you, so clearly he has great taste. Edible delivers. Order online or in store.
Are you ready for the opportunity of a lifetime? Behind me is a dream house that anyone can win. And it's being raffled off as a benefit for Special Olympics Southern California. 5 bedrooms, 7 bathrooms, and the living room opens to an outdoor oasis. With a sparkling pool and cabana, you can entertain all year long. There are over 3,000 additional prizes, with the odds of winning a prize being 1 in 20. Get your tickets now for the Dream Big raffle by dialing 800-816-6108.
There's more to the ultimate driving machine than you might think. Multiple forces converging to create something uncontainable. Introducing the ultimate first-of-its-kind machine. The ultimate hair-raising machine. And the ultimate peace of mind machine. BMW, the ultimate driving machine.
Take advantage of exceptional lease and finance offers today.
A story is more than just words. A story can inspire you, or it can break your heart. But we know that the best stories stay with you for a lifetime. At Fox 11, every day is a new chapter, with a different story of Southern California just waiting to be told. Because we know, with every story we share, it is your mark in history.
You got your teen daughter a sweet treat because life isn't always rainbows and butterflies, but sometimes it is. Edible delivers. Order online or in store.
The Fox 11 News at 10, dedicated to covering important local stories first.
This fire quickly roared up the canyon.
Zero guesswork, just clear-cut facts.
Breaking news, dangerous high-speed pursuit.
Big investigations.
See what's really happening.
Protecting your family, exposing scams, and reliable weather forecasts. No fillers, just important local news. The Fox 11 News at 10.
You look like you're shivering.
This morning, he's very cold. He's shivering. He's obviously had a rough night.
You want to come sit in his car and warm up for a minute?
A miraculous family reunion after deputies find an autistic teen who'd been missing for almost 3 years. Connor Jack Oswald disappeared from his Northern California home in 2019. But last week, deputies in Utah found him sleeping outside a gas station. They convinced him to get warm in the sheriff's car and took a fingerprint scan. This led authorities to his identity and his family.
We're just grateful that he is safe, he's alive, and we have our son back. That's the most important thing ever for us.
They've been reunited with this individual they haven't seen for 3 years. When he was 16. He's now 19.
Connor Jack Oswald is now safe in a treatment center. His family is thankful their son is okay.
Just craziness. I can't believe it.
Caught on camera, a horrific case of road rage. A driver purposely mows down a 23-year-old woman. It happened Tuesday morning in Elizabeth, New Jersey. Police say 56-year-old Vincent Jean backed into the woman's car. When she started taking pictures, police say Jean ran her down, then backed up over her. The woman is in critical condition. Gene was arrested a short time later. He was charged with attempted murder along with other related charges. And a consumer alert tonight for you. The Food and Drug Administration is now investigating Lucky Charms cereal after dozens of customers complained of illness after eating it. The FDA revealing it has received more than 100 complaints so far this year. Hundreds more also posted to a food safety website called iwaspoisoned.com. They complained of nausea, diarrhea, and vomiting after eating Lucky Charms. Cereal maker General Mills says they're looking into the issue, but have yet to find any evidence of consumer illness linked to the cereal. And this consumer alert, a common arts and crafts product is recalled over potential fire safety issues. This Crafter's Square glue gun was sold at the Dollar Tree and Family Dollar stores from August 2020 through February 2022. They're black and, as you see here, with an orange trigger and tip. The company received 7 reports of electrical malfunctions, including 4 reported fires. Mail theft getaway stroller. A Long Beach man says 2 packages were stolen from his porch, and it was all caught on his security video. 2 women approached the home with strollers and then make off with $300 in clothing that he'd ordered.
A couple females came walking by pushing a stroller. They were pushing a stroller. Looked like they could have a baby, but probably full of more packages. Yeah, I think it's a gimmick, and so one of the girls, you could see her look from walking by, like early on, she just head straight to my porch.
Gonzalez says it's a feeling of violation. He hopes they're caught and go to jail. There's a fenced-off area between LAX and the ocean, which is kind of a no-man's land. It's called the LAX Dunes. No one lives there, and few people are allowed to venture inside, except maybe our Hal Eisner. He got the inside info about what's going on in there.
There is a master plan being developed right now for dealing with the restoration of the dunes out here. And that hasn't been announced yet, so I don't get to do the scoop. but you know about some of the restoration efforts, so why don't you fill us in?
Yeah, so the focus of our restoration project is called the Coastal Dunes Improvement Project. So it's 6 acres within the 300-acre system here, and it was actually where some roads used to exist. And as part of the removal, we're helping restore those areas.
Now there's still some roads over here, as we can see, but there were quite a few roads in here?
There were quite a few more roads.
And you want to get rid of those because you want to restore it back to a natural habitat.
Exactly. And Los Angeles World Airports removed those roads, and we've been helping them to restore it and scientifically monitor the area.
What else is being restored out here?
Really just all of the habitat. We're helping remove the invasive vegetation, helping the native community thrive, and helping reestablish this dune system.
You can catch more of the LAX Dunes on Fox 11 News In Depth this Sunday at 9:30. Still ahead at 10, you still have time to file your taxes, but time is running out. Plus, the president reveals his returns. An LAPD station transformed into a boutique. How they're helping teens celebrate a high school tradition. Next, and only on Fox, out-of-control crime at one condo complex. Some say homeless people are to blame. The exclusive story of how a stolen car was stolen back. Next at 10.
If you or a loved one have been injured in an auto accident, you need a professional on your side who'll make sure you get every penny you're entitled to.
That's what we do. The law offices of Larry H. Barker has been protecting the rights of automobile accident victims for more than 35 years.
We've been successful in 95% of our cases.
And we've recovered more than $2 billion for our clients.
That's why we've been the #1 accident law firm in Southern California for decades.
We'll fight for you.
Hablamos español. My grandmother was an immigrant, and she taught me to work hard and always give back. And that's what I did. I dedicated 20% of my company's profits to providing health care and quality education to kids from underserved LA neighborhoods. LA should be a city where anyone can achieve their dreams. That's why I'm running for mayor, to end homeless encampments on our streets, to reduce our crime, and turn around the city we love.
Rick Caruso, for the love of LA.
I got COVID in November 2020. In January, I started having long-term problems.
I was a varsity soccer player in high school, and now I get winded just from walking. I can't remember things. It's just unbearable. I'm telling my long COVID story so that you won't have one to tell.
Getting vaccinated against COVID-19 is the best way to prevent long COVID.
Furniture shoppers, let your inspiration bloom during the spring sale at Reed's Furniture. Save on living rooms, dining rooms, bedrooms, home office, and recliners. We have a huge selection in stock, so you can see it, touch it, even have it delivered today. Plus, save even more on outlet markdowns and get no interest financing for a year. Only at Reed's Furniture in Agora Hills on the 101 at Chesborough and in Oxnard on the 101 between Vineyard and Rose. Online at reedsfurniture.com.
At ADP, we use data-driven insights to design solutions to help you manage payroll, benefits, and HR today, so you can have more success tomorrow.
Burlington's here to help you look your best. From dressing your kids up this Easter to finding must-have fashion for yourself, Burlington always has great brands at wow prices. You'll love the spring deals. You'll love Burlington.
You're watching the Fox 11 News at 10.
Now to a Fox 11 exclusive. People are taking justice into their own hands to get back what is rightfully theirs. Haley Winslow reports from Playa del Rey.
Stolen car, stolen back. Unfazed by security cameras, a security gate, and security guard, brazen criminals strike over and over again. Michael's had enough. He's moving the family to Texas.
The number of instances that have happened since the year and a half that I've lived here has been in the half dozen range, and I'm tired of it. I'm tired of feeling unsafe. I'm tired of losing our property.
And he's tired of constantly having to fight crime. This was the last straw. His elderly neighbor's car stolen out of her locked garage last week at this nice and secure Playa del Rey condo complex. But 12 hours later, another neighbor spotted her car about a mile down the road at this homeless RV encampment on Jefferson. They grabbed the spare key and jumped in a getaway car on a mission to get it back.
My fellow neighbor and partner in retrieval, we both got in the car along with the owner.
We had pulled up right here and then got out of the car and
tried to figure out how to start a Prius, because I've never driven a Prius before, and simply put it in gear and drove off.
Yeah, it was nice to get the car back for the owner, so win-win for the good guys, I guess.
In the past few months, thieves have stolen several bikes padlocked in the same secure garage. Michael's Tesla alerted him of this intruder, and when he wouldn't surrender, he tackled the bad guy. The thief came back the next 2 days for more, this time spray painting the security cameras. He also stole Josh's e-bikes, but they had Apple AirTags on them. Josh tracked one here in Marina del Rey, the other, the same homeless encampment by the Bologna wetlands.
I tracked it to that encampment, called the cops. They came and helped me retrieve it. It was being disassembled as we walked up at a bike chop shop.
Community leaders say the RV encampment is also home to a meth lab, shootings, fires, even human trafficking, which is why these good guys are hitting the road for good.
We're making that move partially because of what's going on, but partially because it just feels like LA is going backwards, not forwards.
I talked to LAPD and City Council about this, and technically, since the moratorium's been lifted, those RVs either have to leave or they can be towed immediately unless they're parked in the no parking zone. Then they have until May 15th. But one of the big challenges is where to put them, because they say the impound lots don't have much space. Reporting in Playa del Rey, I'm Haley Winslow, Fox 11 News.
The humanitarian crisis worsening in Ukraine as Putin continues his brutal invasion. Russian missiles once again hitting the capital city of Kyiv today. Fox News correspondent Trey Yingst is there with the latest.
Russian forces fired on the Ukrainian capital of Kyiv again this morning, this time targeting the eastern part of the city. At least one person was killed. Mayor Vitaly Klitschko is warning residents not to return as these Russian missile attacks continue. He went on to explain that air defense systems are working to intercept incoming fire. We've heard air raid sirens multiple times so far today as Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky said this about the situation.
Our armed forces are doing it brilliantly. They stopped the occupiers' attacks. They are carrying out counterattacks. They have already frightened, in the true sense of the word, Russian ordinary aviation, and they have been forced to use strategic long-range aircraft.
While Ukrainian forces were able to defend the capital city, the southern port city of Mariupol continues to see intense fighting. President Zelensky said Friday that his forces were working to break the siege of Mariupol. Many of the battles are focused around a steel and ironworks plant, and while the details aren't public, Zelensky says more is being done to support those remaining Ukrainians who are fighting for the city. The Russian Defense Ministry says today that Russia now controls all urban areas of Mariupol. They note there are Ukrainian forces still inside that plant. In Kyiv, Trey Inkst, Fox News.
President Biden still dealing with the crisis stemming from the southern border. Today, for the fourth time, a chartered bus of undocumented immigrants arrived in Washington, D.C. It's part of Texas Governor Greg Abbott's strategy to protest the Biden administration's rescinding of Title 42, a Trump-era border policy. Title 42 restricts migrants from coming into the country and under the auspices of a public health emergency. The deadline to file your taxes is Monday. If you're not going to make Monday's deadline, you need to ask for an extension to avoid a penalty fee. That fee is 5% of unpaid taxes for each month you're behind, or you can pay an estimated tax until your return is finalized. To request the extra time, you'll need to fill out Form 4868. Then the IRS will give you until October to finish the filing. The White House released the Biden's 2021 tax returns on Friday. The documents show President Biden and First Lady Jill Biden earned more than $600,000 in their first year at the White House and then paid $150,000 in federal income taxes. The couple also reported contributions of more than $17,000 to 10 different charities in 2021. Making good on a promise he made during our Fox 11 LA mayoral debate, candidate Rick Caruso released his tax information Friday night, at least some of it. He isn't releasing his actual tax returns, just saying how much he paid. The billionaire says he paid $1.6 million in personal, state, and federal income taxes over 5 years. It's not known how that figure was derived since he's not disclosing his income. A celestial treat for the folks in Santiago, Chile. It's a pink moon, so named because of the pink wildfires blooming during April's full moon. You'll be able to see it here in LA, but only until Monday. You look to the east right at moonrise, about 10 to 20 minutes after sunset. As the moon rises, it will gradually turn to a pale yellow before turning white. The pink moon, meteorologist Mary Yoon, also determines when Easter is, and that, of course, is tomorrow.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was actually going to say, Susan. So you are already on top of it. People were asking why Easter was so late or why it felt so late, and it's usually because we have it arriving after our first full moon, which is after the start of a spring equinox. So, it did feel kind of late, but nonetheless, at least we are going to be celebrating it with some nice weather. All right, it was a nice weekend, a little cool in some spots, especially towards our coastal communities where we saw some breezes kick up earlier this afternoon. But here's what it looks like. Our high temperatures, downtown Los Angeles, topped out at 67 degrees. 73 is our average. Burbank at 70 as well with mostly sunny conditions. A nice day in Santa Ana at 70s and even Riverside. 71 when our average for this date, usually right at 76. So mostly clear conditions right now. We have some clouds increasing towards portions of the Bay Area. But you can see we're going to see more of the stratosticks, just some clouds starting to increase. And we have even some isolated stray showers reported right now towards San Diego County. Winds are relatively calm, but we had some breezes in downtown Los Angeles up towards portions of Ventura County, but no advisories. Earlier this week we were tracking some strong winds. The good news is it's just very isolated, and it's going to be a nice night. Here's what it looks like overnight lows. Saturday night, largely 50s. A little colder in places like Lancaster, where we expect those temperatures to fall near 46. Big Bear dropping into the 30s. So I want to show you futurecast. We'll start with some clouds tomorrow. Low clouds and fog is the story, especially for our coast. And then we should see clearing by Sunday afternoon. So it's going to be a beautiful afternoon, perhaps for the kids doing their little Easter egg hunts. And, you know, for brunch. Lines are definitely going to be long, so hopefully you made all those reservations. Monday, some clouds, and it's still going to be dry and even warmer. And then a system starts to approach on Tuesday. No rain with that just yet, but we are going to start to see those temperatures fall a little bit after enjoying some warmer than average conditions. And then we're going to be tracking rain Thursday into Friday. Yes, I said rain. 6 a.m. tomorrow, San Bernardino 53 with the northwest breeze, southwest winds towards the afternoon, and air quality is pretty good for the most part in places like Burbank, back towards Oxnard, Santa Monica. You're looking pretty good. Inland, though, we're looking at moderate levels for places like Rancho Cucamonga down towards Riverside. Here's what it looks like over the next few days. Clouds will start off for the coast, 67 for the high temperature, 72. LA Inland OC with a mix of sun and clouds, and valleys and Inland Empire looking pretty nice at 79 degrees. So you are noticing temperatures coming up a little bit. The warmth will continue through Monday, and then as we start to see some changes by Tuesday into Wednesday, starting to see some cooler air, but the real change starts to arrive Thursday into Friday. We'll be tracking some potential rain there. It does look like it starts to dry out as we head towards the weekend. So next weekend, you're looking pretty good. 60s for the mountain, high deserts 80s, and windy conditions expected for the week ahead. 90s for the low desert, and then we'll see some cooler weather for places like Palm Springs by next week. Susan, back to you.
Very good, Mary. Thank you. Memory loss, brain fog, both are symptoms experienced by some for months after a COVID infection. The practical steps that can help. Cuervo in kindergarten, a school shocked to find out a child brought liquor to class, then shared it with other students.
You got your boyfriend this create-your-own edible box because he's the most indecisive person on the planet. But he did decide to date you, so clearly he has great taste. Edible delivers. Order online or in store.
Hi, friends. Richard Karn here. Now, I'm known as the guy who can fix just about anything, but the technology in most appliances requires very special training to fix. My point is, even I know when I've met my match, and that's why my family has Choice Home Warranty. So we won't get stuck with high-priced repairs.
Choice Home Warranty covers over 25 major home systems and appliances. That's your AC, heating, plumbing, kitchen and laundry appliances, and so much more.
Imagine for less than a cup of coffee a day, Choice Home Warranty can help protect you from expensive major system and appliance breakdowns that your homeowner's insurance doesn't cover. But you have to call now before it's too late.
Every homeowner should have Choice Home Warranty. Your homeowner's insurance is not going to cover your appliances.
Washing machine, dryer, refrigerator, air condition. If I had any issues arise, they were able to take care of it immediately.
Now, homeowner's insurance won't protect you when your home's major systems and appliances break down due to normal wear and tear. But Choice Home Warranty will. They can help cover repairs and replacements.
Choice Home Warranty is the best warranty we've ever used. It would save you so much money in the long run.
Hey, I'm not the only one raving about Choice Home Warranty. They were named a Best Home Warranty Company and Best Claim Service by U.S. News 360 Reviews.
Call Choice Home Warranty now and get access to a nationwide network of over 15,000 technicians and the latest appointment setting technology so you'll know when they're on their way.
If I have an issue with an appliance or something around the house, I just call up Choice Home Warranty and I don't have to worry about that.
So, do what this old DIYer did and call Choice Home Warranty now before something breaks down. Tell them I sent you and get your first month free.
Call Choice Home Warranty before it's too late and get protection for your heating, AC, plumbing, kitchen and laundry appliances, and more. Call for your free quote today. Call in the next 5 minutes and get your first month free. 800-361-3034. That's 800-361-3034.
You got your teen daughter a sweet treat because life isn't always rainbows and butterflies, but sometimes it is. Edible delivers. Order online or in store.
Welcome to Talladega.
Run.
Today at 1 on Fox 11. Make your tax refund last. What you do with those extra dollars matters now more than ever. What to do first when you get your check. Monday at 8:45 on Good Day LA.
A shocking story from Michigan where kindergartners share caught drinking tequila, and during snack time of all times, a little girl brought the premixed drink in her backpack, served shots to at least 5 students. Thankfully, they're all okay. Parents say the girl knew the mix wasn't juice, but liquor, and so they are outraged.
She said the girl poured it in her cup and she drank it, and then the girl ended up telling her what it was. So she went to the teacher and told the teacher that it's liquor in this cup, and the teacher gave her like a funny face.
The school said in a statement they try to keep an eye on everything students bring in, but that's not always possible. Going on to say it's unfortunate these kinds of adult beverages can be easily mistaken for child-friendly drinks. The school says it will discipline the student who served the drinks.
Good Sports Saturday to you. I'm Gerard Moncure. Former Notre Dame High star Hunter Green on the hill at Chavez Ravine against the Dodgers. And Shohei Ohtani puts on his cowboy hat and goes deep against the Rangers. We'll show it to you. Plus, a protest in the middle of an NBA playoff game. I will tell you what this was all about coming up in sports.
If you need to lose 50 pounds or more, Dr. Faze can help.
I lost 100 pounds within the first year. It almost seemed like it evaporated off, and it seemed surreal. Traveling on an airplane the first time where you can cross your legs at the airplane seat, and seatbelt is like tightened, and all those little things are amazing.
Southern California Hospital at Culver City has state-of-the-art technology and compassionate one-on-one care. Call Dr. Michael Faze for your free personal phone consultation and PPO insurance verification.
Oh, see that? Whoa! Whoa! We're doing Morongo.
Oh, we're so doing
Let's go.
Good times are calling all the time. Always plan for fun and always play. Morongo is calling. Good times.
I'm Doug Hopkins with SellersAdvantage.com, and I want to buy your house. I'll make you an as-is cash offer on your house within 24 hours. Whether it's a total fixer-upper or in perfect condition, SellersAdvantage.com is the easiest way to sell your house. When you sell your house to SellersAdvantage.com, there's no fees, no commissions, no banks, and no repairs. Just go to SellersAdvantage.com for a free, no-obligation cash offer 24 hours a day. That's SellersAdvantage.com.
Are you ready for the opportunity of a lifetime? Behind me is a dream house that anyone can win, and it's being raffled off as a benefit for Special Olympics Southern California. 5 bedrooms, 7 bathrooms, and the living room opens to an outdoor oasis. With a sparkling pool and cabana, you can entertain all year long. There are over 3,000 additional prizes, with the odds of winning a prize being 1 in 20. Get your tickets now for the Dream Big raffle by dialing 800-816-6108.
It's Fox Mondays to the rescue. Our job is to save the person in front of us.
I'm almost there.
And that's it. 911, then an all-new 911 Lone Star.
This whole thing started with road rage.
She's trying to drive us off the road.
It all starts Monday at 8 on Fox 11.
The LAPD Olympic Station doesn't usually look quite this dazzling, but today officers and cadets partnered up with the LA City Attorney's Office to turn the station into a prom boutique. They even offered a selection of dresses, suits, makeup, and accessories to low-income students. Volunteers were on hand to help the students pick out outfits for prom.
All these clothes are donated by community members, officers, and everyone else trying to make a great opportunity for these kids to enjoy themselves this year.
Well, every year the event benefits students from 15 high schools in the area. An Oxnard teen gets a wish granted thanks to the Rams and the Make-A-Wish Foundation. Diego Garcia played high school football until cancer sidelined his gridiron dreams. Not every teen opens his garage to find a brand new gym, and this gym came with some notable features.
Thank you so much for being here and making his wish special. This is the LA Rams.
Oh my God.
The Los Angeles Rams teamed up with Make-A-Wish Tri-Counties to grant Diego Garcia his wish. The Oxnard teen faced the fight of his life facing cancer last year.
Last year we go through a really hard time when my boy, he was in the hospital.
Anytime see this thing is, I mean, thank you God for this. I appreciate everybody.
At first I was in denial. I was like, there's no way they came out here, right? And then we'd like to welcome the Rams. Oh my God, they're the Rams, you know, the people I see on TV.
Garcia's cancer is in remission, but it's not advisable for him to go back to the gym. This tricked out home gym is exactly what he needed.
I really wanted to get back into shape after, you know, getting so skinny and getting so big, because, you know, I wanted to go back to being normal, I guess.
Gift after gift for Diego, overwhelmed and grateful.
Are you serious?
Also grateful, the Rams team members who participated in revealing Garcia's wish.
It makes me feel great. Being able to just, you know, brighten somebody's day, see the smile and the joy in their families' faces, along with just being able to share this moment with our friends and staff members here. It's incredible.
The Rams and Make-A-Wish thanked Dick Sporting Goods, Play It Again Sports, for helping to outfit Garcia's home gym, and a local contractor insulated the garage to keep him comfortable. Good luck. All right, we're going to turn now to sports, and we have Gerard. No more Rams talk, but we have other things to talk about.
We got some baseball, Susan. Yes. Dodgers have been on a roll. Dodgers swinging for a 5th consecutive victory, facing Cincinnati Reds right-handed pitcher Hunter Green, the former Notre Dame High star and the #2 overall draft pick back in 2017, won his major league debut just 6 days ago on April 10th against the Braves. And his parents were there, Chavez Ravine, to support him in his first hometown game, and he was throwing heat. First inning, Freddie Freeman swings on the 102 miles per hour pitch, misses. Then it's Edwin Rios and Chris Taylor. Both of those pitches at 101. He's throwing smoke. Bottom of the third, Trey Turner, the victim, on a off-speed gem at 89 miles per hour. And then Hunter Green with 39 pitches over 100 miles per hour in this one. But Turner gets his revenge in the 6th. The fastball squared up, and it's going a long way. It's a 2-run bomb, breaking a scoreless tie. 2-0 Dodgers, and he would continue his hit streak at 27 games. Dodgers win at 5-2. Julio Urias, by the way, gets the win after going 5 innings, allowing just 1 hit in this one. In Arlington, Texas, Game 3 of a 4-game set between the Angels and Rangers. Noah Syndergaard putting in another solid start. Bottom of the 4th, strikes out former Angel Cole Calhoun, and then former Dodger Willie Calhoun in the 6th. Syndergaard, 2 runs over 6 innings, striking out 4. Top of the 8th, Shohei doing Shohei things. The Greg Holland curveball hammered and gone to right center field. Shohei hit 2 last night, continues his tear this weekend. Angels go up 6-2, and they win it 7-2, the final. The latest configuration of the USFL, that's right, the United States Football League, kicked off today right here on Fox. 8 teams, 2 divisions, with everyone playing their games at Birmingham's Legion Field. The lead game this afternoon, bidding the New Jersey Generals and the Birmingham Stallions.
Was giving himself up. He got hit. He holds on to it, going deep down the sideline. Hand checking and one-handed catch for the touchdown. Osiris Mitchell.
Mitchell makes a one-handed catch for Birmingham, and we are tied at 7 apiece. We move to the 4th. Stallions now trailing 21-14. Jamar Smith finding Kerry Angeline over the middle. He dives in for the 28-yard score, and the game's tied at 21 apiece. Now, under 2 minutes left, Nick Rose setting up for the 47-yarder. Cool, calm, collected, just inside the upright. Generals take a 24-21 lead. Under 30 seconds to play. Stallions driving. Smith will roll out, cut back, and dive in for the 2-yard touchdown. No doubt the play of the game. Stallions win it 28-24. On the pitch, the scoring a lot tougher to come by today in Carson.
Shabilko with the breakaway. He is onside. Shabilko to his left. Jonathan Bond. He'll smother it, and it's still 0-0.
Jonathan Bond comes out, jumps on the ball. Play of the game for the Galaxy against the Chicago Fire. This one remains scoreless. 88th minute. John Haro Espinosa rips his shot just outside the box, but it's over the bar. Game ends in a scoreless tie without a single recorded shot on goal by either team in this one. At the Crypt, Kings taking on the Blue Jackets, trying to make a push for the playoffs. 6 to play. First period, Kings up 1-0. Victor Arvidsson setting up Philippe Deneau perfectly for the goal. Number 24 for Deneau on the season. Kings up 2-0. Under a minute to play. Blue Jackets trailing 2-1 on the power play. Patrick Lane misses the shot. Time runs out. Kings survive. They win it 2-1. They get a much-needed 2 points tonight with the victory. Bizarre moment during the first-round NBA playoff game between the T-Wolves and Grizzlies in Memphis today. The game was brought to a halt in the second quarter when a protester chained herself to the basket stanchion. The woman, Zoe Rosenberg, part of a grassroots animal rights network, was protesting Timberwolves owner Glenn Taylor. The protest was in response to an investigation into a recent mass killing of 5.3 million chickens following a flu outbreak on a ranch owned by Taylor. It took more than a few minutes for security to cut the chain and haul her off the court. Timberwolves, by the way, upset the Grizz 130-117 in that one. And finally, happy birthday to the captain, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, his 75th, the Laker legend with his NBA 75th anniversary ball right here. That is it for sports. More with Susan coming up on the other side of the break.
Are your trash bins filthy and smelly? Call 1-833-WASHBINS or go to washbins.com and schedule one of our trucks to come disinfect, sanitize, and deodorize your bins, leaving them looking and smelling great. Call 1-833-WASHBINS.
You're a champion. You're not a quitter. Quitters don't do what you're supposed to. Champions do. And you're a star. And you shine. That's what you do. That's what you do every day.
Showcasing your business and attracting new customers is easy with Fox 11's targeted advertising, attention-grabbing promotions, and exclusive sponsorships, perfect for local small businesses. Stand out and reach the right people using Fox 11's data-driven ad placements. When partnering with Fox 11, you can promote your local business effectively and efficiently on air, online, and other streaming devices. Set up a free consultation at foxla.com/advertising and see how Fox 11 can help your business succeed.
When you have a little happy smile on your face, then you know you're going to a happy place. When you have a little happy smile on your face, then you know you're going to a happy.
Why do we love popping little plastic bubbles? For the same reason we play scratchers from the California Lottery, because a little play can make your day.
For generations, KTTV has been here, sharing your family's stories. And although the years have passed, our commitment to your family and our coverage has never changed. It's our family-focused reporting that drives us, understanding that the headline is just the mere beginning, and our continued passion to help make SoCal a safer place for us all remains tried and true to this day.
Are your trash bins filthy and smelly? Call 1-833-WASHBINS or go to washbins.com and schedule one of our trucks to come disinfect, sanitize, and deodorize your bins, leaving them looking and smelling great. Call 1-833-WASHBINS.
Red flags in your relationship could be signs of something worse. Clear identifiers that you could be with a narcissist and how to best resolve lasting issues. Monday at 9 on Good Day LA.
Fox 11 News at 10, covering important local stories first. Big investigations, protecting your family. The Fox 11 News at 10.
Well, we finally have a COVID test that doesn't involve swabbing your nose. The FDA approved a new breathalyzer test for the virus, and it's as simple as blowing through a straw. The COVID-19 breathalyzer machine can spot chemical compounds in a person's breath. The company says it can give results in less than 3 minutes with a 91% accuracy rate. Memory problems, misusing words, and overall brain fog, just some of the day-to-day struggles for some recovered COVID patients. And more people seem to be experiencing it. We've come to know it as long COVID, people who've had the virus but suffer symptoms long after. One patient says she moves slower, processes thoughts slower, and she's not alone. A doctor at one Atlanta clinic says he's treated dozens with the symptoms and shares tips for easing brain fog.
Sleep is an absolute priority. And if you're not sleeping because of fear and anxiety and depression, then you need to see somebody. You don't necessarily have to go to a long COVID clinic. You need to see your primary care doctor or your therapist or somebody who you trust and work on techniques. There's many techniques to get better sleep, and that's critical.
All right, other tips. You can see that from the doctor. Stop multitasking to help you slow down. Make lists to help you remember. Also, exercise your brain, but get it out of the comfort zone. For example, if you're used to doing crossword puzzles, try Sudoku. And of course, a healthy diet supports the body and its recovery. We'll be right back with a last look at the forecast that's coming up.
Rediscover your perfect combination at Pechanga Resort Casino, where you can be an impact player, a clutch hitter, or a wild card. No matter what your game is, the excitement and relaxation you're looking for is here. So get back to the fun and play your perfect combination at Pechanga Resort Casino.
There is a lot of information about COVID-19 out there, so it's important to share the facts, not the virus. COVID-19 vaccines teach our cells how to fight the virus. They don't infect us. Getting vaxxed and boosted are the safest ways to protect against infection, including long COVID. Let's get back to the facts. Share the facts, not the virus. Find a vaccine near you at myturn.ca.gov.
Furniture shoppers, let your inspiration bloom during the spring sale at Reed's Furniture. Save on living rooms, dining rooms, bedrooms, home office, and recliners. We have a huge selection in stock, so you can see it, touch it, even have it delivered today. Plus, save even more on outlet markdowns and get no interest financing for a year. Only at Reed's Furniture, in Agora Hills on the 101 at Chesborough, and in Oxnard on the 101 between Vineyard and Rose. Online at reedsfurniture.com.
If you or a loved one have been injured in an auto accident, you need a professional on your side who'll make sure you get every penny you're entitled to.
That's what we do. The law offices of Larry H. Barker has been protecting the rights of automobile accident victims for more than 35 years.
We've been successful in 95% of our cases.
And we've recovered more than $2 billion for our clients.
That's why we've been the #1 accident law firm in Southern California for decades.
We'll fight for you.
Hablamos español.
LA needs Rick Caruso as mayor because LA needs change. Rick is not just a talker, he's a doer. When he first became engaged with Operation Progress, one of the programs that supported a lot of the students here in the Los Angeles Watts community, I got to know him, I got to know his sons, his family. I know what Rick can do, and I can speak for Rick. He's been here forever. He's a genuine, authentic individual. Rick has always came through for every promise that he has made for me and my young people here within the community. Got my stamp, brother.
At ADP, we use data-driven insights to design HR solutions to provide flexible pay options and greater workforce visibility today, so you can have more success tomorrow.
Are you ready for the opportunity of a lifetime? Behind me is a dream house that anyone can win, and it's being raffled off as a benefit for Special Olympics Southern California. 5 bedrooms, 7 bathrooms, and the living room opens to an outdoor oasis. With a sparkling pool and cabana, you can entertain all year long. There are over 3,000 additional prizes, with the odds of winning a prize being 1 in 20. Get your tickets now for the Dream Big raffle by dialing 800-816-6108.
You got your boyfriend this create-your-own edible box because he's the most indecisive person on the planet. But he did decide to date you, so clearly he has great taste. Edible delivers. Order online or in store.
Here comes Peter Cottontail. Hopping down the bunny trail. It's been too long. Here's Mary Yoon with more. I'm trying to do my Easter best, but
that was
failed. Failed miserably.
That was a very feeble attempt. Okay. It was a nice weekend, a little on the cool side. Happy early Easter. And, you know I grew up waking up early for sunrise service. So for those of you perhaps waking up early, definitely take the jacket. Over the next few days, it's looking pretty good. Rain possibly Thursday. Back to you.
Very good, Mary. Thanks very much. And that is it for us tonight. Thanks so much for watching. Join us tomorrow on the Fox 11 Weekend News at 7:30 p.m. I Can See Your Voice is next. Have a good night.
The preceding was a rebroadcast of Fox 11 News at 10. The following is a sponsored program. KTTV is not responsible for the claims made by the sponsors.
The following is a paid presentation made possible by the support of the friends and partners of Inspiration Ministries.